Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're digging into what happens when a video really goes viral. We're talking 40 million views. But does that automatically mean a massive payday? Let's find out.
All right, let's kick things off with a big, round number, 40 million. Actually, over 40 million. That's how many eyeballs across all the different platforms were glued to one single epic video project, roasting an entire camel.
Now, when you see a number like that, it's no surprise that comments like this one just flooded in. People were convinced the creator, Mubashir Sadiq, had hit the jackpot. I mean, they were guessing he made over $100,000 from just this one video.
But is that the real story? Well, today, we're going to peel back the layers and look at the, honestly, pretty shocking economics behind a single piece of viral content. Okay, let's dive in.
So first up, what was this video? This was an absolutely huge project by the Pakistani creator behind the channel Village Food Secrets. Now, if you know his channel, he's known for these big, ambitious outdoor cooking projects. But this one? Oh, this was on a whole other level. The project itself was just monumental. We're talking about roasting a 157-kilogram camel, and not just anywhere, but in this massive, custom-built underground oven. I mean, it was an incredible feat, and you can see why millions of people were hooked. But, as you can probably guess, it came with a pretty epic price tag.
Okay, so let's get into the anatomy of the cost. To really understand the final number, we've got to break down the investment it took just to get the cameras rolling.
He actually broke down his major investments into three main buckets. First, you've got the underground pit itself. Second, obviously the camel. And third, all the custom equipment he needed. And let me tell you, none of these were cheap.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. The cost breakdown. Just the pit, with all the bricks and labor, came to 43,000 rupees. But the big one, the real showstopper on the bill, the camel. He bought it by weight, and it cost over 250,000 rupees. Wow!
So you add in all the spices, the metal frame, all the other little costs, not to mention his own unbilled labor, right? The grand total to make this thing happen was about 3.5 lakh rupees. That's around $4,200. And remember, that's all money spent before a single person saw the video. Okay, so we've got the cost locked in. Now let's flip the coin and look at the revenue. And this is where the story takes a really unexpected turn. We have to start by looking at where those millions of views actually came from. You see, a huge chunk of the views, we're talking over 21 million, came from Instagram and TikTok. You know, short clips, reels, that kind of thing. And yeah, 21 million views. That sounds like a massive win.
So the big question is, what's the payout for 21 million views on those platforms?
The answer is zero. A big, fat zero. Not a single cent. And this right here is probably the most important lesson in the creator economy. Not all views are created equal. For him in his region, those platforms just weren't monetized. So that's 21 million views that earned him absolutely nothing. So, okay, that's a huge chunk of the views with no payout. So where did the actual money come from? Well, let's look at the platforms that did pay.
The revenue, the actual cash, only came from two places, Facebook and YouTube. Now check this out. On Facebook, he pulled in about 17.4 million views across different videos and posts, and that earned him $543. And on YouTube, the main video got almost 400,000 views and made just $59. 59.
So you do the math, you add it all up, the total revenue from every platform for this monster viral project was just $602, a little over $600. I mean, think about that. It is a world away from the 80 or 90 lakh rupees people were guessing in the comments.
All right, now we've got both sides of the ledger. Let's put them together and look at the final balance sheet for this viral sensation.
So let's compare. The total investment was about 3.5 lakh rupees, which was roughly $4,200. The total revenue he made was about 1.7 lakh rupees, around $2,000 if you do the conversion on all the platforms. So, yeah, he made back less than half of what he put in.
And when you see it laid out like this in a chart, it's just stark. The revenue bar doesn't even come close to the investment bar. Financially speaking, this project was a pretty significant loss. Which, of course, leads to the most important question of all. If it lost money, why on earth would you do it? Well, the creator himself answered that. He said, a lot of these videos, they're not about making money. They're made out of love for the audience. For him, the
The motivation wasn't profit, it was passion. And it was about that connection he has with his viewers.
And this is such a key insight into the creator economy. He sees it as an investment, not in a single video, but in the long-term health of his channel. The real return on investment here isn't cash. It's things like audience growth, building his brand, and earning that long-term community trust.
He even shared a local proverb that I think explains it perfectly. Your home should be solid, the village doesn't have to be. His point is, you have to invest in your foundation. And for a creator, that foundation is their creative work, their channel, if you want to build something that's really going to last.
And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, right? How do you really measure the true return on a passion project like this? It seems like maybe, just maybe, the most valuable assets in this whole creator economy are the ones you can't find on a balance sheet.